Hi guys, so I asked ChatGPT what are the best free open source point of sale systems for restaurants, and I got a series of interesting answers. Maybe I can just run that once again and we can ask that question together of ChatGPT, if you don't mind, and then we can see where I got my recommendation that I sort of got to use, and I'll just be giving us a tutorial around it very shortly. Now, if you haven't used ChatGPT, you're missing out. The world is changing, and you better know where the world is ending. So here we are. We're going to ask this question once again. Please tell me which are the best free open source point of sale systems for restaurants. Okay, and here you go. So I'll stop generating here. So you have quite a number. Florian POS, I installed that. Chromis POS, I installed that. Odoo POS, I installed that. But if you're on a tight budget, then you really want to consider Chromis POS because it's as feature rich as possible. A lot of these other solutions are pretty good, but you have to pay something to get some of the basic features that you require. And therefore, I'll just do a series of videos. Please keep checking and see what it is that I've updated. The first thing I'm going to show you is their website. The link is in the description. This is chromis.co.uk, and quite a bit you can read here to understand, and you can come to, I believe there is what do you call it? There must be a download page. I've also linked that in the description, and the download page is somewhere here, so you can actually just come into this, click on this, and get your download will start shortly. I've already downloaded this, so I'm not downloading it once again. I'll well, okay, maybe we can go ahead and do that. But once you download it, what you'll find is something like this. This is what you'll have, and just double click. This is, I'm on Windows now. I've already installed it, so this is just to show you probably what can happen. And I'll also just give a bit of a disclaimer, not a disclaimer really, but a bit of a warning. So this is, you'll just accept. And yeah, a warning that it's written and compiled for 64-bit or operating systems, not 32-bit, and that means you need a newer machine. Okay, newer machines that can run Windows, I think 7, 10, 11, if I'm not mistaken. And just click on next. Well, let's probably install to a different directory. In this case, I don't know that this will work. And program files Chromis 2. Click next, and you install the supplied GRE. This, please check this. If you don't check this, it will not work. So I'm just running through the installation process. Don't unmark it. Just click next as is, and then install MariaDB locally, and then click next, and then you select the parts that you want to install. Select all this and go ahead and install them. Now, I'm not going to, let me just see, I'm not going to install this because I've already installed the application, so I'm going to cancel that. And once you're done, you'll create desktop shortcuts, and you'll find your Chromis POS installed here. So in the probably in this very video, I'll probably show you a couple of things, and this is the first interface that you're going to come across when you've installed it. And you can then log on. Now it looks pretty plain when you install it initially, and this is probably why I was almost giving up on it, because it wasn't very easy to figure out how exactly to proceed. And when you select, then everything looks fairly blank, and it's not the easiest thing to figure out if someone hasn't given you a tutorial. And that's why I'm doing this, so you begin to see what is possible. So however, if you have, and if in Kenya can help you probably set up something, if you have Actually, this is not true. After installing, you'll probably have to come here. You'll actually have to come into this Chromis DB creator. Once you've installed, if you double click it won't run. It won't run because there's a step I performed in my own computer that you'll probably not you'll definitely not have. So these are the shortcuts that come. This is the database. Don't worry about that at all. But you have to create this database creator. And what you'll do is you'll create a local, if you're running it on your machine, which is your laptop or your desktop, then you'll create localhost. And then thereafter, you will give the database a name, and then you give it a username. I recommend you maintain this root username, and then give it a password. I recommend you use a password that you can remember easily, and then what you'll do is you'll create a new database. I'll create one, give it a number 5 so that it's quite straightforward, and when you click create database, that's going to it's going to work in a few seconds. Just give it a moment. It's going to be up. My machine is pretty fast, unfortunately, so I don't know how much slow it's going to be in a machine that's not so fast, but this is, the new database has been created. Click OK, and you can click on save here, successfully saved, and I think there's room to check the connection if it's not okay, but go ahead and do that. Now, I don't know if you can see this part written port 3306. If you've installed MySQL on your computer for whatever reason, there's a good chance that the default port it's using is 3306. Chromis database requires this particular port. I think it's quite sensitive to it, and therefore you may have to uninstall the MySQL that you have on your computer, and then reinstall this and ensure that this port is free. What I've also done is I've reinstalled MySQL in my computer, but then I've changed the port for MySQL to 3307. That also includes, I think, Workbench. I don't know whether it uses the same port or not. I saw such features, and that has really ensured that I pretty much have no conflict. But if this port is not available to Chromis database, then the system will not work. All right. So great. That's the first thing. The second thing that you'll probably want to see is how it looks when they're products, and therefore I've already created a different database that works. It's here. I've downloaded, actually there's a way to back this up. This is a backup I made some time back, and this I've made fairly recently, and I can then go ahead and click save, and once that has been saved successfully, I can just confirm the connection, test the connection established. Very good. So that database is working, and essentially you can go ahead and change connections. I'll share another video on that as well. So why I'm doing that is to come and show you then a Chromis point of sale solution that has sorry, it's here actually, I'm clicking on the wrong one. The POS executable that has don't run that. Yeah. So here I've created quite a number of users. This is a database that I've taken off an existing system, and it's a little bit different. If I were to then choose such a person, then there are many tables that have been created. The layout is imperfect in this situation, but there's room to have a different set of tables or layouts that you're going to use. So you can select a table. This is and then based on that you can make a decision on what is being sold. These are different foods, and in fact these are what I can call the default settings. You can actually put images for the foods that you're selling. So in this case, let's say for example you want to sell in Kenya, this is very nice for breakfast food. It's called chapati. It's not, well, it looks like naan, but it's not maybe naan. You want some Spanish omelette, you've set it up somewhere. Then you can give some hot beverages as well. Maybe you'll have some black tea. No, we're Africans, we don't have black tea. We probably have white tea. What is that? Okay. Yeah, this tea, and you'll have the big one. So you select that. Then I'll show you what these icons do a bit later in for the tutorials. This is send it to the kitchen, printer, And what I hadn't done is I'm not using a printer. I'll probably use it as a test print, and I'm gonna put that on the desktop because the printer is not attached. And yeah, that should go out, and you can see what it's brought up. Oh, test print already exists. Yeah, go ahead and send to remote device, turns color, and eventually this is a waiter, so they cannot receive money, but someone else is able to go ahead and receive the money. I have a feeling that I need to just change this presentation a little bit. So give me a moment, guys. Where is this? Okay, so that's it.